right, guys, we got a fun show for you today. New comic book day. We've got Time to Buy with Zach, and we're going to be talking about Facsimiles today, so stay tuned.
Go facts.
Welcome back, Gators, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of Comic Gate! And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Royal Highness doing that princess wave, looking very lovely today, just like usual. Just got back from the gym, so bow down and do a squat.
All right, guys. So today is Saturday, and we got the new comic book day haul in from this week. It was like delayed a day. Normally we pick it up on Wednesday like everyone else does, but it was delayed Thursday. So got a nice big haul. I think Princess said it was around $60 or so. So a little bit of good stuff this week, and we also have for you guys Time to Buy with Zach, so our new segment. Basically, Princess and myself picked out a bunch of graded comic books that are trending right now, and we wanted to get Zach's opinion, whether or not he thinks it's a good idea to get them slabbed, whether or not he thinks it's a good idea people should be buying these, whether he thinks it's a horrible idea and people should just get rid of them. So kind of a fun thing. And it leads a little bit about facsimiles today. Zach's going to go on a rant, I think. Yes. He has some things to tell you about facsimiles.
I got some things to say.
And Princess has some stuff to say, too. But, all right, guys, before we get into any of that, though, there is one thing that is not a facsimile around here, because I don't think we've ever had this one before.
I need to get on this beer, guys. It's a Credible Polk. Blood orange extra pale ale. It's kind of cool.
Oh, it's called a Polk?
Yeah, the Polk.
That's cool. It's kind of like the Hulk.
Bone. So you decided to...
Incredible Polk.
Decided to get some finger tattoos on their hand. That's a great idea.
You should get the Hulk on one side.
I should get like a skull on my hand or like a pay-up sucker right here. Just like someone I know. Not this guy. Not the princess either. I just shouted you out, Dad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, doesn't your dad has a pay-up sucker on his hand?
Yeah.
So I know he had the skull, but I don't know.
That's good.
Nice.
Or at least he was talking about it. I thought he did do it.
Alright, let's get into some comics. Okay, so we got new comic book day haul from this last Wednesday. And like I said, it was a pretty good week. I don't think... There's a few books that we were looking for. I know Grimm, #1, second print. I don't know why that book is so expensive. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. We weren't able to find any at the LCS, but I think Princess has a couple she was able to secure. And then I kind of really like that Rebels retail store variant, but I didn't get that one either. That was kind of cool. I think it's a trade paperback. Let's get into some comics though, guys. All right. We've got Carnage #3. This is from the Rom V's, right, in this storyline. Pretty good book so far. So I haven't read this one particularly yet, but so far it's like just the Carnage symbiotes around because Cletus is dead and he's kind of like trying to find a new host. There's a couple people that he's thinking about making his new host, but he's also like in the book before this, he captured like Hydro Man and tortured him and like took some of his abilities. Like he's able to absorb some of the ability to take stuff from him. It's weird. Cool book though.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. All right. We got Avengers Forever #6. This is the Jason Aaron's writing this one. First appearance of Vibranium Man. I think this book's getting a little bit of heat right off the bat. This is I finally have all the books leading up to this one. I was missing like 2 of them. I didn't realize I wanted to read this run, and then I realized I did. So it's pretty solid read so far. If you guys aren't reading this, it's a good read. It's very original. Whole different universe. So not in the 616. It's like all different people in a different universe.
Are they just gonna start doing like all the different elements kind of man? Like Adamantium Man?
They should.
Like Cosmic Man, Cosmic Stone Man, Garbage Man. Yeah, they should just change out Adam Warlock to Soul Stone Man or whichever stone he had in his forehead.
Soul Stone, right? Wasn't
it? I believe
so. The Soul Stone. Yeah. Oh, this is really exciting. So Princess picked up The Closet, issue 1. This is from Image. This is the new James Tynion book that came out. I believe they released this early on his Substack, so a lot of people have already read this. You could read it digitally before it came out. And I think it's going to be a 3-book run, but because people like it so much, they're asking them to do more on it. So we'll see. I've heard really good stuff. I have no idea what it's about, though.
What's coming out of that closet?
I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
Kelly? Wasn't R. Kelly stuck in the closet for a while? When's he coming out of there?
Wait, no, he doesn't do that.
The other Princess book she picked up, Nice House on the Lake, book 9. I think this is only going to 12, so another James Tynion goodness, Black Label. Look at this cover. the art on this is kind of cool. It's like kind of pseudo-realistic, and it's almost like someone's looking at people through night vision, doesn't it? Like each book.
All I know is that guy needs to do more cardio.
Can tell you the cardio.
Looking a little flabby, so.
We thought we'd throw in some DC action here. So I remember reading the start of this on Free Comic Day, and I thought it was a really cool idea. So I figured I'd try and pick this up. But you got Justice League Road to the Dark Crisis #1. Pretty cool. So far, what I can tell is like the regular Justice League members are all dead, and they're basically need to create a new Justice League to deal with this dark crisis. And it looks like most of the main baddies from the DC universe are going to show up and kind of, mess things up with these new Justice League characters, I guess.
Right.
So, kind of cool. I thought it'd be cool to read. All the other crises have been big deals. Maybe the Dark Crisis is a big deal.
Yeah, but which character are they going to bring back? Like, who's going to lead the team?
I don't know.
It's going to be
Aqualad?
Or, what's his name? Robin later becomes Robin. Nightwing.
They showed a bunch of the different groups from over the years. I'm not sure which group's actually in charge. We'll see. This is one. I'm so excited about this cover too. But you got What's the Furthest Place from Here, Book 6, and this is the Boston Rosenberg story. This one started out really weird for me, but I'm totally loving it now. And like each cover kind of goes along with the place that they're at inside the story. And I believe at the end of the last one, like some aliens came down or something. So there's a kind of a tiny little spaceship in there. You can kind of see it, but I'm not sure. I haven't read this one yet to see where it goes. But there's supposed to be music that goes along with all these too, because they're really big into music. So I don't know. Some people got CDs with them. Some people didn't. I'm not really sure how you get them. But I don't really like listening to music while I read anyway.
They better got a bargain deal on that freaking cover. It cost them nothing. It should have cost them nothing to make.
But it's cool though.
Same thing with that Jenny Frison cover. That just shows that light coming down, and it was somehow Jenny Frison.
That works. She drew the light.
All
All right. Next up, this is a big week, guys. We got Ghost Rider #3, and it has I think this is first print some kind of like death truck or something. But I'm digging this Ghost Rider story is cool too. He starts out like in this town where he doesn't really remember who he is, that he is Ghost Rider, and then by the end of it kind of figures out he is. But now he's like on this trip going across America, killing things, hunting the family business, hunting things, right?
Yes.
So it's very Supernatural-esque.
We are the hunters.
Right? There's even a death truck. Isn't there like a death truck in Supernatural?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
There's a movie about death trucks, too.
Is it really?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Monster Truck?
Might be.
Wasn't that for kids?
Yeah, there's one for kids and one not for kids.
That's true. Oh, you're right, yeah. All right. Okay, next up, Little Monsters, #4. This is that Jeff Lemire one from Image. It's good, very slow read. I haven't actually read that many Jeff Lemire stuff. I didn't actually read Sweet Tooth, but it's slow, but I can tell like he's writing a very good story. It's kind of like these kids are vampires and they haven't actually like sucked anybody's blood for a really long time, or if ever, if I'm not sure, and they're kind of like in this post-apocalyptic world. And I think they finally found like a real person that they're like, finally starting to suck their blood. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
It's weird, but I don't know. It could go somewhere cool, I feel like. And the art's really weird. It's all kind of like in black and white, but you can kind of see the blood and a little bit of color here and there throughout the story.
Well, that sounds pretty cool.
I would recommend it. This is what I've been really excited about coming out. But you got Miles Morales, Spider-Man 38. And it looks like Princess picked up the Jen Bartel variant, which I'm really jealous of. This is the first appearance of Captain Billy, I think is what they're calling her. So it's Billy Morales, Miles' sister from this alternate universe, and then that evil clone Salem or whatever is actually like the main baddie of that whole world. Like he kind of took over the world of that side. I don't know how he was able to do that, but Miles is kicking in that other universe, having to deal with all this stuff going on.
They stole that from Evil Morty.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Rick and Morty.
But it looks like a really cool thing, and I don't know. I haven't seen Billy Morales as an adult other than on the cover, so maybe she's cool. I think she's only a baby in the regular universe. Never know. But her first appearance is still going crazy, so people must like her. Must be digging it. Save that one for the end, because that goes along with some stuff. All right. We've got Strange #3, and this is that offshoot where Clea is the Sorcerer Supreme. I like these like super realistic covers that they have on there. This one's really, really cool, and I've never really read that much on Clea, so I'm reading this story, and it's fun to. She's kind of like a badass a little bit, where if she doesn't like somebody, she just kills them. She don't mess around. She's not like, oh, let's take this person in for jail time. Let's just get rid of them. And like what's his name? Wong's like, we don't do that. We don't necessarily just kill everybody if we don't like them. He's like, no, that's how we take care of things.
No, not yet. It's a joke. You know, like, kill him.
This.
You're like, no. There's like,
I'm like, cut the tape. I'm like, what are we doing? I was like, we're cutting the tape right now.
Oh, you guys never seen Dictator?
No.
Oh my god.
But we should. We're gonna watch it right after this.
Whatever.
I thought you were doing like Guardians of the Galaxy reference. You know what this is.
It's like, oh yeah, lying across his throat. Yeah.
Look how cool this one is. So finally made it to Walking Dead Deluxe issue 40. This is a nice close up of Rick's face there. She just had the baby in issue 39, so right at the end.
I think that's baby's blood.
I'm not sure how this lines up with the show because I think she died right after having the baby in the show. So,
Jesus.
But they're all around her this time after she had the baby, so I don't know how she's gonna die immediately. That guy, the zombie, ate her in the show right after she had the baby. It's kind of weird.
That's sad.
This is exciting. We Have Demons, number 3 from Dark Horse Comics. This is the only Dark Horse stuff I'm reading. From Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. The first comic of this blew my mind how good it was. The second one was still pretty good, not nearly as good as the first one, but I didn't even realize they were going to do a third one. I didn't even remember ordering it, but I'm going with it. I thought it was only 2 issues long, so maybe it's longer. This came out early on Substack too, I believe, on his Substack.
Yeah, shop owner's probably like, oh, you bought 1 and 2, might as well just add it to
I'll take
the pile.
it though. It's good. It's really cool. She has her arm got cut off as a kid, so now she has this demon weapon on her arm that turns into the sword that she can vanquish demons with it.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. And it looks very anime-ish, the way the drawing is. It's really cool. It's really nice drawing. And last but not least, this leads us into another part of the show later on. We got Moon Knight number 1, the Facsimile. So thought it'd be a good idea. I'm kind of been picking up these as they come out. I'm actually reading them all just so you can kind of, I actually have a beat-up copy of that book, so I could have read my beat-up copy and not worried about it. But when you have a nice, expensive book, I kind of, you either want to read it really gingerly or not read it at all. So it's got to be careful with. So when you get these facsimiles, it's a nice thing to read. Won't go too far into that because there's a segment of the show that's going to be on facsimiles. And Zach has something to tell you about it. So that's all the new Comic Day Haul stuff this week. Let us know what you guys got. Anything that we missed that's important. I'm always looking for new DC stuff to jump into, to kind of whet my palate. Make sure I'm up to date on what's going on in the DC universe.
Absolutely.
There's so much stuff. Batman's got 2 new runs coming out, The Fortress or something, and it's I don't even know. I'm already reading 2 Batman runs.
Yeah, there's stories, side stories, back stories, front stories, every which way stories.
Right?
Origin stories. Why would you need another origin story? Why?
They did that. Batman Beyond just got another origin story.
See? That's what I'm talking about. If you haven't figured out what's his origin by now, there's a problem.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's get into it. So we got Time to Buy with Zach. So what we do is Princess and myself look through a list of graded trending comics. All these books are graded. And we're trying to throw some, curveballs at Zach and try to think what he might think is a good idea, what he might think is a bad idea, because we want to get his opinion on these. That's the main idea behind this. So we'll start it out here and kick it off. I think we had all the books this time, so we had all 5 of these books. So it's 5 books. So number 1, we got Venom Lethal Protectors number 1. This is a Princess's Choice of the week, and this is her book as well. It's a very nice copy. Mark Bagley, David Michelin is the 2 group on this to make the book. 1993, big significance of this book is the first solo series for Venom and first cameo of General Orwell. I'm not quite sure who that is in the story, but I think overall, it's a 90s book. It came out. There's a lot of them printed, but it's a ridiculously cool cover. Mm-hmm. It's surprisingly over the years it's not overly expensive books, like $25-$30 in high grade, but it holds its value for how many have been printed in comparison to the other shiny foil books that came out at that time. People respect it because of how good the cover is. I think that's what's really cool about this book. And it's kind of one of those rite of passage things. You have it, you should have one graded. I think we have 2 out to CBCS right now to get graded. So we're trying to get to that rite of passage. But be on the lookout. Also, the newsstand one garnishes about double value or so. It's out there. And the rare black error variant and white error variant, which I still think that's weird. They forget to put the foil on something that makes it worth a crap ton of money. It's strange, but it's there. It's there. It's strange, but it's weird. It's there. So what's the you got on this one, Zach? What are the numbers? What are you crunching?
So, recent sales of 125 to 150 in a direct edition CGC 9.8 on eBay. Not all the sites, on eBay. And I sell for a newsstand $341.95. So it's about double, a little bit more than double. I would say kind of hold, like, if you have it, hold on to it. Oh, I skipped a part. My bad. CGC. How many graded? There's 15,434 books graded.
That's crazy.
There's 10 10.0s.
Wow.
Gem mint.
Wow.
35 9.9s. 34 of them.
Hoping she got a gem.
Hopefully. It'd be worth a lot of me. 34 9.9 universal. 1 signature series. And then that's it. Yeah, for that. And then 9.8. There's 8,634 graded, 7,091 universal, 492 signature series, 38 qualified, and 13 restored.
Why? How do you even restore that?
So, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It must have happened in the 90s when everything was selling for crazy, and then the bomb dropped out of it.
Fix it with some Scotch tape.
Yeah, this still wouldn't be restored. But anyways, so I would say hold on to this or hold on buying it. Graded, raw, if you find a nice copy kind of thing, I would highly suggest you get it signed because there's only 492 CGC 9.8 signed books of this. So it would command, it would command a fairly good value because it would actually be much less. There's probably like over 100 listed right now, and there's probably like 2 or 3 listed that are signed. So get it signed, get a 9.8 hopefully. Just take your time and find a good copy. And wait for McFarlane to sign it or one of the other guys.
Yeah, remember it's
witnessed.
It's one of those books too where because of the foil cover, it's really hard for people to press it themselves because you can't do the heat press on it. You can do a cold press, which we're not even sure how to do that, but that's why it's like if you do get a 9.8, it's garnished a little bit more value because it's so hard to press out any imperfections in it. Once you get a dent, it's there forever for the most part.
Right.
Yeah. You gotta be careful.
And one last thing. So the price ranges for the ones above 9.8s. They can command crazy value.
Like a 9.9s, yeah.
Like 9.9s probably would be double of that newsstand, and a 10 probably would be like 10 times the amount. Yeah. Sometimes more.
You could be that person.
You could be that guy.
You could be that. We could be those guys. All right, next up on the list, we got a book. Princess got a book here. Oh wait, no, I skipped ahead. What do we got here? So
we're skipping.
Next up on the list, we got Uncanny XMen 266. From 1990, this is the Andy Kubert and Chris Claremont group on this one, made this one. This is an interesting one, depending on who you talk to. Second or first appearance of Gambit. So I think in this house we all agree it's the first appearance. But you have X-Men Annual 14 is the other one, which actually came out 3 weeks before. But in continuity, you have this is what they were meaning to be the first one. It just... Overall, it's, way cooler cover, really cool book. I think it's super undervalued for how exciting a character Gambit is and how cool and how beloved he is from the 90s cartoon to how much everybody cares about this character. It's still, you can buy like a raw copy for like $100, $150 in good condition too. Yes. You know what I mean? And a 9.8 goes for quite a bit, but still a cool book. So what do you think about this book, Zach?
So, sales-wise, it goes for CGC 9.8 direct edition $850 to $950, so pretty good. A newsie sold for $2,500, much higher. There's 15 CGC 9.9s on the census, and there's 3,712 CGC 9.8s, 3,147 are universal, 556 are signature series. 1 is qualified and 8 are restored. This one, I can forgive it a little bit. It's not a 90s book, but still, it's pretty bad.
1990. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Beginning of the 90s.
I can forgive it a little bit. Lethal Protector, I can't really. There's 19,479 books total graded.
Wow.
That's a
lot, too.
4,000 more than Lethal Protector, which is kind of...
I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Yeah. I would think so, too. It's a buy. I mean... You may think $950 or $850 is high, but for how significant this character is or will be, I think that's a pretty good bargain. If you want to buy it raw, you can find some pretty good deals on raw high-grade copies. And if you do that route, get them signed kind of thing. Because there's only 556 signed copies, so it would command a much higher premium. Or maybe even if you get a good chance, buy one already signed, and then you don't even have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
The chance of not getting a 9.8, because you want this in a 9.8. Not as much as you need the Venom Lethal Protector, but
it still has a lot of value in a 9.6 too. Where Lethal Protector is worth basically nothing in a 9.6 comparatively.
True.
Yeah. Cool book though. Cool book. Let us know. That's always the long debate. But if anyone thinks differently, about the annual or 266 as the first appearance, to each his own. It's gonna be like one of those never-ending debates. Yeah. All right. Next up on the list, we have Savage She-Hulk #1 from 1980. This book was done by John Buscema and Stan Lee was actually the writer. We actually had a little discussion on it. It was crazy. I didn't realize Stan Lee was actually the writer for this book in 1980. Obviously, this has a lot of meaning right now with the show coming out. I'm really excited about it. People say it's supposed to be a comedy show, but I couldn't really tell that from the trailer. But we'll go with it. I'm excited. She-Hulk's such a cool character, but obviously this book is really important because it's first appearance and origin of She-Hulk, who is the cousin of Bruce Banner, which is really cool. Jennifer Walters, who I think in the show is going to be played by Tatiana Maslany, I think that's how the name is.
The lady from Orphan Black,
which these two have seen and are really excited about. I've never seen that show. And cool cover. I mean, just cool cover. I know the run itself wasn't that good compared to Sensational She-Hulk because they were still trying to find that platform for her. Mm-hmm. She seemed a little too similar to Hulk, I think, starting out until she kind of got like her own avenue. Sensational She-Hulk's a much better run than Savage She-Hulk. Right. But Zach actually has an interesting story of why they created She-Hulk.
Well, it's pretty cool because they recently made the Bionic Woman, and this is right around the time the Hulk, Bionic Man and Incredible Hulk was kind of made similar times, and then they decided to make Bionic Woman, and then Marvel was like, or whoever's running the thing was like, okay, someone's going to take the idea. They're going to make a female She-Hulk. They're going to make all of these kind of female versions of all of these TV shows. So we need to, get a jump on it before someone takes that idea. And we lose out on the rights to that character. So they threw that together real quick. And it's a pretty cool cover.
Yeah. I like it. It's like an homage to the first Hulk cover too. Yeah, so and it on its own is just a cool cover. I like how big she looks and they draw her really nicely. Mm-hmm. So cool book. What numbers you got on it though, Zach? What are you thinking about this book? How do you feel? How does it make you feel deep in your soul?
So recent sales of 820 to 819. A newsstand sold for 1,072. So not much of a difference between the newsstand and direct.
It hasn't quite hit that point yet because I think 1980 should be almost equal newsstand and direct.
Yeah, it should be about the same.
It's like 82 or 83 when it starts getting crazy.
But it still surprises me. And everybody's all newsstand crazy, and it wasn't always like that. Look back a little bit more than 10 years ago, they didn't even care if whether it was a newsstand or direct buying comics. At least
they didn't even care.
They didn't care. So there's 3 9.9s. That would be amazing though, in that 9.8. There's 2,576 CGC 9.8s, 2,402 are universal, 149 are signature series, which seems kind of low for me, really low. 22 are qualified and 3 are restored. There's 11,752.
Whiteout.
Yeah, exactly. There's 11,752 total graded. So that's actually a pretty good kind of ratio. I mean, I don't know exactly what the ratio is. I didn't do that, but I would hold on to this book if you can find a nice copy raw and get it signed. That 149 signed CGC 9.8s, that's way too low. I mean, the lowest one we already talked about is 492, and this one's only 149. There should still be some people alive that worked on that book.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Sal Buscema or whatever his name is?
Yeah, John Buscema.
But I always get those two confused. Anyways,
I think they're related.
I would not buy a 9.8 on this book, but if you see a raw copy that you think could get a 9.6 or a 9.8 and you could get it signed, do it. Do it all day.
Yeah.
You'll kill it.
Well, good thing about this one is after the show's over, it's probably still going to be worth the same or more, depending on how good the show is, but they're still going to use her. I mean, she's going to be in more things after the show, too. and she's kind of like a staple character for Marvel.
I'm just the only thing is about when the show actually is about to show up, it doesn't jump up that much, and then once the show like is done, it drops down over the next
a little bit, yeah, as people forget. Yeah.
So you'll be able to get that probably book in the next 6 months or 6.5 for like $700.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right, next up on the list, this is an exciting one. We have Incredible Hulk 340. This came out in 1998, and it was worked on by Todd McFarlane and Peter David. This is like our pride and joy. We ended up somehow getting a 9.8 in this cover with a bag on it. Mm-hmm. But you gotta basically, I don't think there's any significance in this book other than it's just like an iconic cover, and some consider like the best cover like of all time, depending on who you talk to. But just a great book, and it's been homage like all the heck. Like this, we were trying to figure out what's the most homage cover. It's definitely on the list. It's definitely in the top 5, probably. But cool thing to look out for. There's also a newsstand version of this that garnishes not actually that much more. It shouldn't at 1988, but there is a Mark Jeweler out there as well. So, and for some reason, like that haven't caught on yet. I feel like the Mark Jeweler should be worth way more than it is in this book, and as you know, they're only worth much more if they're in high grade, so you just be on the lookout. But if you find this in a Mark Jeweler, that'd make my day. I'd be so happy. Yeah. Well, what do you got on this one, Zach? What are you thinking?
Let's see. Recent sales of a CGC 9.8 is $1,550 to $1,915. It's a big kind of volatile range right there. $400 change in price. $50, that's understandable. But $400? That's something interesting. This book is either going hot or not. So, you couldn't decide where it's going to go. But graded, how many graded? There's 3 9.9s. People really like that 3 9.9s. There's 1,135 CGC 9.8s, and that's pretty low. Dang low.
Yeah, that's really low.
800.
We have one of them.
869 are universal. 261 are signed, 1's qualified, and 4 are restored. There's only 9,155 books graded total of this book. It's a hold, but it's a classic cover. I mean, if you're gonna buy this book, you're probably not gonna lose out on it. I don't know how crazy it's gonna get into the future. It might become one of those Copper Age grails.
Yeah.
Maybe in like the next 10 years, and people are just because. If you're looking at the whole market and everything, it's like Golden Age already gone. Silver Age is starting to go. It's like starting to go as in it's like everything's popping off like too crazy. Bronze Age is the next one, and one right after Bronze Age, you're gonna go like, okay, the Copper Keys just gonna go crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's already starting a little bit because we bought that book I think for like $50-$60 raw. It's worth quite a bit in a 9.8.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get lucky sometimes. All right, last but not least on the list, believe it or not, Ultimate Fallout 4, the Facsimile, is trending as a graded comic book. Pretty crazy, but you have Mark Bagley on the cover on this one, Brian Michael Bendis on the story. The Facsimile came out in 2021, so it's pretty recent. And obviously, it's a reprint of Ultimate Fallout 4. They don't really give it like a printing number that I know of. Like that, like second and third print of the other ones. I don't know if they actually named this one 4th print or 5th print, whatever it actually is. But just remember, there's some stuff you can tell on that one where the Marvel logo is actually red on it, as the regular one's not red, and the barcode's different. The regular one should be number 4 instead of 111, so you know that it's the 4th book in the series. So just be on the lookout for that. In my opinion on facsimiles, obviously all the ones behind us are facsimiles that have been coming out recently. I like them just for the purpose of reading them, and I like that the cover looks similar to the original. Just the fact that it looks a little bit cooler. The True Believers look super corny to me. You can tell that you have a cheesy book. Not like trying to use it to definitely don't use this to rip anybody off, and I hope that's not the reason. I don't know, why they would even lead that into that, because there's a lot of people that are ripping people off with this, so it's kind of crazy. But for me, I like them to buy and read them. I just don't understand why you would ever grade them, because then you can't read them. If they're reprints, it makes no sense. I don't know, it's just, if they're doing that for somewhere down the road, 10 years from now, they're expecting this book to be really expensive, so they're hoping they already have it in the 9.8. Maybe, I don't know. It still seems weird. I'd rather just have the original. But what do you think, Zach, about a graded 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile?
So, recent sales is for a CGC 9.8, buying it off of eBay, $51 to $56. That's embarrassing. It's freaking embarrassing. There's no 99s or 10s, so maybe there's some room in there that you can make some money on there. If you can try.
10.
The shock and awe, just send 1 million copies. There's 1,463 CGC 9.8s, 1,374 are Universal, 89 are Signature Series. So the 89, not too bad. I can't be too mad about it. But there's 1,695 gray books.
So many. That's so many.
Yeah, one unfortunate person got an 8.5. And this is what my opinion of this. I mean, if you see a graded book and someone uses it, you just burn it. If you get a graded book of this, just burn it. It's freaking embarrassing. I mean, it's meant to be read. This is not like a 4th print or 5th print. How I see extra printings, like you got cover A, first print, and then you got the 2nd print, 3rd print. It's printed in a reasonable amount of time because the demand for this book is one. It's just like regular books. If there's still a demand, then make an extra printing. Oh, first printing wasn't enough, we'll make a 2nd print. We'll make a 3rd. We make a 4th. And then, okay, the demand's not that much in there. Okay, 10 years later, we'll make another print. We'll call that the 5th print. No, it's not the 5th print. It's a reprint.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like that, yeah.
If you stop for a certain amount of time and there's no specific reason why you stopped, if there was still a demand, then you're just leaving money on the table. It makes no sense. You can't call it an extra printing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just my thought about it.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, I've noticed, like, it's like a lot of the shops are getting them graded, too. Like, whenever you go into, like, a shop, everyone has an Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile hanging on the wall somewhere. I don't know the reasoning behind that. Maybe they're, like, trying to get people to think it's a regular Ultimate Fallout 4. I don't know. But that's who seems to be getting graded the most is the shops. It's weird.
You know what's the worst thing to get graded?
What?
A blank cover.
Yeah, no.
That's meant for a sketch. It
cover.
makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. That's the worst.
I can agree. Yeah, we're like, what is going on with this?
Right before that, it's not as bad, but a blank cover signed.
Yeah.
That's like...
Unless you can add more into it later, but yeah.
That's not as bad as just getting a blank cover, because at least you got the signature, but why? Get a book that you like that has a great cover and signed on it. Or if you got a blank cover, just use it as a canvas for all these signatures, get them all signed, and then slap it.
That'd be cool.
And that's it. That's the only exception. And if you do it, guys, make me very angry. So send them to my IG so I can go on a rant about it.
All right. All right, guys. That's going to wrap the video for today. A little bit longer than usual, but it's some good info, I think. We learned a little bit. And as usual, guys, we like the show, love the show. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Leave us a comment down below. This is a very good episode to leave some comments on. You can let us know what you think about the Gambit thing, which, probably everyone has an opinion on that. And let us know what you think about facsimiles and getting things graded, things you guys don't agree with getting graded, because there's a lot of things that people don't agree with getting graded. A lot of people don't like getting any books graded, which I can kind of get on board a little bit with that. There's some things I like to preserve, but we won't get too deep into that. But, anything else, Dad?
You gotta share. And how you do that is, you got to be like, buried for 1,000 years, entwined in some bandages and everything, and maybe we put on a curse, and for some reason, why would you do this? But maybe you didn't have a choice. And then someone breaks into this tomb, and you come back, and like, okay, now I'm a crusty mummy. That's how you get those games. But they bury, if you were a pharaoh, they bury you with all this stuff that you can be like, all right, now it's time to barter. Barter type with mummies. Imhotep. Trade you for burger. I'd be hungry after all that time.
I would too. All right, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember.
Get those mummy games.
Wrap it up.